Our terrific guest from Turkey, Miss Tugçe. Come on in. Much love, much love, much love. There she is.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderfully well. Doing wonderfully well. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's a great day.
Yes, it's a beautiful day. Sun
Oh
is
man.
shining, even though it's like super cold. It's
Yeah?
nice to have the sunshine. Yeah,
How
it's
cold is it over
freezing
there
here.
currently?
Well, I know in Celsius. In Fahrenheit, it must be like in the 20s.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really
Wow, so
cold.
you chilling. You chilling over there right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really chilling.
You
What
like a
part of
little.
the world are you at right now?
Oh, I'm in Sedona.
Oh, you're in
Sedona.
Sedona.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. So we're at a little retreat over here, so we've been enjoying it, enjoying the mountains, the plant life, the scenery, the greenery. It's really
Mm-hmm.
nice. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I saw your picture with Elotom Elamine. How is
Yeah.
your experience?
It's been good.
Good.
Yesterday was day two. Today is day three, so we just have two more days after
Hmm.
today to go for a total of five. So he's been giving teachings. We've been, running the energy. It's been showing us how to cultivate, of course, and how to
Hmm.
meditate and how
Yeah.
to, appreciate life and everything that we have that's offered to us all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's kind of like how you say on your page. I remember reading Tuche somewhere on your page. You said letting life love you. You know,
Yeah. I got that from Fab actually. Yeah.
you got that
Letting
from who?
from Fab.
Okay.
Yeah. Letting love, making love to me.
Yeah,
Letting
yeah.
life making love to me. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're doing that today, or has that been going on this year so far?
Yeah, definitely. Life always have, ups and downs, but I'm embracing every moment and I'm really like letting the flow guide me
Mhm.
and letting life make love to me, Really. Like, yeah, I'm appreciating the lows even more this year, I think.
Ooh, talk about it.
Um So, I see it as like a reference point,
Hmm.
when you have the low points, then you appreciate the highs,
Hmm.
and it teaches you so much through suffering, through those cracks, so much come in,
Hmm.
so much light comes in. And I'm really appreciating like anything, any down moments, any difficulties, any challenges. I'm really embracing it. I'm seeing it as like something that I called in into my energy field,
Hmm.
and that I created it, and there's something to learn from it, so I'm really embracing. And then I'm embracing the high moments even more too. Like, I'm really appreciating everything in my life, everything that exists and everything that doesn't exist. I'm appreciating it all. So, yeah, living in gratitude, trusting the universe
Hmm.
and everything it offers to us. Because it's like, I think it's not even the universe, it's what we are creating. Universe is just being a reflection.
Hmm.
So, yeah, just taking it all in and living in gratitude.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that. That wonderful reminder of understanding how we can appreciate the contrast. We can appreciate the highs, but also acknowledge the lows and embrace the lows, like you say. And what would be one of the lows or one of the challenges that you've had to embrace this year already?
Mm, there's quite a few.
Okay. One off the top of your head, can you think?
um, One of the top of my head, I think it would be like a difficulty in a relationship.
Okay.
That would be one.
Yeah.
Or going through some health challenges.
Mm.
That would be another one. But yeah, I mean, in each part I'm learning something new. Like for instance, I've been into raw veganism and practicing Orin therapy and
Right.
fasting here and there. But there's still certain things that I want to approve, and I was kind of like closed to any kind of like man-made products and supplements and stuff like that. But lately, like I've been experimenting with some herbal supplements,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing like benefits, and I'm thinking like, okay, like there's not only one way to a certain thing, there's multiple ways.
Right.
It's not like Orin therapy is gonna resolve everything, though it has the potential to. But yeah, I'm just like open, staying open. And I think everything happens to us, for us to learn something, for
Mm-hmm.
us to learn something new that we didn't take a look at.
Right. Right.
So yeah, these days I'm experimenting with some products and learning new things and seeing how my body responds. And yeah, it's been fun, just experimenting with it and seeing how my body responds.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just, that, I guess that wasn't a low point, but yeah, in order to answer your question, another challenging one, I guess, was with my relationship.
Mm.
um what else? Yeah, but there's always something to learn from it.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Of course.
Absolutely.
You taught me that. You taught me that one. I can't take that too.
I know.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that as well. It's like it reminds me that, it's kind of like test and find out. TAFO, they say, like finding out on your own what things mean and finding out that there are alternate paths to reach similar destinations, that it's not all one way, it's not all one-sided, it's not all this or that, black and white. There's
Mm-hmm.
many, multiple facets, multiple pathways to get to the top of a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
thank you for illustrating that, and I would love to learn, because of course we all know you as, the plasma fairy, the plasma goddess, the Orin alchemist, the plasmatologist, the plasmatarian. Like we know you as all these things when it comes to understanding just the powerful journey that you've been on, and embodying that and realizing that we have this water within us that can heal. But now you're saying that there's even more things to reveal, and there's more things that you've discovered through other supplements. So what's one of the supplements that you've used that you've found success?
Okay, so I have quite a few friends who've been using these products from this company called Purium. And I was kind of like resistant to it all year round. Although I was like, I trust in those friends of mine, and I know how amazing results they get. But I was like, okay, like I'm already on a really clean, food source, and I'm like, doing Orin therapy and so on. So I was like resistant, but there were still like a couple of little things here and there, nothing major, but that I was working on. And maybe I needed to go deeper into dry fasting. I'm not sure, but so I was, observing those things, and then I finally gave in, and I wanted to try out this product called Biomedic from Purium. And it has these ingredients in it, such as like fulvic humic acid and some probiotics and so on. And I've been using it just for like the last couple of days. And my husband Jason, he was like, whatever you're doing, just keep on doing, because your mood is amazing. And he noticed it like right away. And I noticed it with myself too. I'm like, I'm feeling more balanced and calmer. Like even if something drastic happens around me, I'm like more centered. and I'm more tolerant, you know.
Okay.
That's what I noticed. I'm like more calm and centered. And I always knew that, you know, brain health is directly related to gut health, and this is a gut repair product, you know. So it's really opening up my mind, you know. I would always think like things that are mental related, like mental health related, are always due to, you know, like heavy metals in the brain, or some other things due to the liver maybe. But I didn't really have that one-on-one connection. Like I didn't see that one-on-one connection between the gut and the brain. And this is like a really a gut health, gut repair product, and I can see how it's affecting my gut and how it's affecting my brain at the same time. Like I feel so centered. And you know, I never suggest anything to my clients when I'm coaching them, like that, something that I've never used on myself. So now I'm just like experimenting with it. Probably I'll use it for a month or two, and then it will be something that I will be promoting, because I think, you know, I mean, I think pranic lifestyle is great. Like fasting is great. We should all like tap into that. And but there are also a lot of people who need some time or a bridge to get there, you know. I think Orin therapy is a great bridge. And but Herbalife is also great. So yeah, it's good to get support, get extra support. And so yeah, I'm just, you know, I was like totally against supplements, but now I'm like being more open and just, you know, just seeing what life brings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it sounds like you're, you know, you're very passionate about it, you know, almost equally so as you've been when it comes to understanding the water within, like the things that we use for tools, you know, tools to get us there. Like you said, a bridge, you know, to
Mhm.
bridge the gap. Like a lot of people do need that. There was an example I remember somebody talked about, if somebody is stuck in a ditch or down, you know, in a really, really deep ditch, and they're in need of a ladder, you know, but then somebody has a ladder in their garage just sitting there, you know, kind of collecting dust. Well, the person who has that ladder in the garage, it's a tool, but they don't really need that tool. They're not using it. But the person who's stuck down in that ditch, they need it. You know, they
Yeah.
need it. So it'll help them get out, you know, it'll help them climb up, right? So
Exactly.
it's interesting, like what each of us can use wherever we are, you know, using what you have where you are, you know, in the moment.
Hmm.
So yeah, thank you for that. Like I think that's a great message for people to hear, to understand that there are so many different ways, you know, that we can heal. And so you said that it started to calm you down and it started to allow you to take things as they come.
Yeah, instead of like reacting to things, I've noticed that I'm more of like observant, you know, just an observer there. I'm just like, okay, this is what's happening, you know, but how I react to it will make what it is.
Yeah.
And then like how I respond to it creates such a shift in what's happening. It almost changes it. Like, you know, if I were directly, like, if I were just mirroring what's happening, it would just exasperate the what's going on. But because I'm so calm, I'm almost like a sponge in that moment, you know. I see it, I observe it, I'm accepting it, embracing it, feeling it, and then just letting it go. And then it's gone. Like, because I'm not adding into the situation, then it's not growing bigger. So yeah, it's just it's much more pleasant to live
Yeah.
life like that. Just, you know, just being like neutral and exactly, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been fun. You know, it's great to stay open to things and to experiment, always to listen to your you know, friends and what they're going through. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm just playing with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, being
Mm-hmm.
that natural observer, you know, it's like not adding more wood to the fire that's already
Mm-hmm.
burning, you
Yeah.
know. So you see it, you observe it, you absorb it, you acquiesce, you let it go. Yeah,
Yeah,
you let
yeah,
it go and let it flow.
exactly.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So how
What
is your
are
practice? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
now I was going to ask you, what are some of the things that you're learning at the retreat right now?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's tons of things that I've heard before, but sometimes Tuche, you need to hear something again
Over
and
and over.
again and again
Yeah.
to really internalize it, to really get it into the makeup of your mental matrix, the fabric of your being, to really integrate it into your operating system. You have to repeat it. The subconscious mind, it just loves repetition. you know
Hmm.
it's lazy in a way. It doesn't like big changes, big leaps. It likes small steps, small
Hmm.
steps. So this is kind of me continuing down that journey of just allowing these things to naturally take hold in my mind, creating that neuroplasticity and shaping and molding and forming, the person that I'm being, the person that I'm always becoming. And we're always becoming something, we're always becoming someone. We're going in different directions. So, when it comes to your practices, Tuche, I'd love to learn also, because you do Bikram yoga as well, right?
Well, I used to do it. Now that all the studios are kind of closed, I don't do it anymore. I do it more at home on
Okay,
my
right,
own.
right. So at
Yes.
home, what are the types of yoga that you enjoy at home?
Yeah, I do Bikram yoga, but just not in a hot studio, because Bikram yoga is like, you do it in a really hot, wet, like air, hot, wet, like almost like a sauna kind of a room. But here I just do it in room temperature, but I do the same postures, the
Mm-hmm.
26 postures. Yeah.
Yeah. And is this still like a practice that in these postures that you still keep up today, that gives you, that opens you up even more?
Yeah, absolutely. I do it almost every day, and they just, they don't only like work on me like physically, like stretching my muscles and just allowing more, oxygen to flow and stuff, but it also like affects me mentally. And I do it more for the mental benefits
Mm.
because it really grounds me. It shows me that I love myself, It's like a message. Okay, you do your love. You do love yourself. Check. Um yeah. Um because yeah, just like saving that time and showing up for yourself is like sets up the tone for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Um so it really helps, and mentally it just like grounds me. Just I don't know, it just makes me feel more centered, I think, and allows me to like just let go of things that are not serving me.
Mhm.
Just whatever chatter I have in my mind, that just goes away, and I'm like more grateful, more in the moment. Yeah, it helps me with that.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many parallels to a lot of the things that we practice. And putting yourself in a certain posture, how it can have such an effect internally as well as externally. I love how you say, Tuche, that you don't do it as much for physical, but you do it even more for the mind. you
Mm-hmm.
know kind of like how maybe an archer, if you're practicing archery, it might give you the same lessons of single pointedness or focus. The concentration that it takes to hit the target would bleed into all the other areas of your life. For me, it's kind of like roller skating. That allows me to be a lot more free flowing, a lot more smooth sailing, a lot more being able to flow around and move around effortlessly and gracefully. The more that I roller skate, that kind of bleeds in. And you also let me know that a lot of the times I don't fast as much for health as much as I do for the mental clarity and the
Mm-hmm.
mental discipline and focus that it gives me. So, didn't you do in December, you did a period of dry fasting, is that right?
Yeah, I did.
How long was that period, and what were your revelations during that?
um so that was, I think, what was my longest one? The longest one I think was 48 hours, if I'm not remembering wrong. Yeah. And yeah, one of the most beautiful benefits was the clarity, because you're not putting anything external in your body, and you're just like, you're just you and you on your own, and it's just you're feeling everything that's going on in your body, and like your mind becomes super clear. That's what I experienced. I mean, that's what happens whenever I fast, with even Orin or dry fasting. It's the first thing is like the mental clarity. And then also I feel like, because your vessel is like more clean and flowing, it's just the ideas that I get, you know. um yeah, I feel like I'm becoming more open to this universal energy that flows through us. And I get ideas, I write them down, and I just become more creative. And yeah, I think those are one of the most apparent like mental benefits that I get.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie Tom, you know, he has a saying, he calls it going from a Homo sapien to a homogeneous.
Exactly.
it,
Exactly.
it definitely opens you up in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, when all the, you know, the mucus in the head area gets dissolved, because like, I mean, from a health perspective, like when the gut and the lower areas are full, like this part cannot drain, right? But when we empty this part, it's like the head area starts coming down and being released too. So when we fast, that's the one of the most beautiful like benefits, you know. Your head area releases all the mucus, and then everyone's actually a genius, but because of the mucus that we have in there, we can't like feel it. But once you release it, then all types of creative ideas flow to you. You become more creative, like and you can connect the dots better, you know, because we already have like quite a lot of information downloaded to us, but sometimes like it's hard to make those connections, you know. But when you're fasting, I think it's like you just put the pieces of the puzzle together, you connect the dots, and then things start like making more sense. And like even though you had like you even though you didn't read any book, or you didn't listen to a new video, you start making more connections, and you put the dots together, and then you get these ideas, like almost like revelations, you know. You got me.
Yeah. We got it. We got it. Yeah. Yeah. We vibing.
So yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree totally. It's like, you know, it's kind of like the limitless pill. If you ever seen that movie Limitless, you know,
Yeah.
being able to connect the dots and see all sorts of associations with different things that were always around you. They were always there, but you weren't aware, you know, in that moment. It's kind of like you are the book, you know, you are, not for lack of resources, but the resourcefulness, you know, to connect those dots as you were talking about. It's all around you, it's all within you. And people even talk about the Akashic records, you know, tapping into that enlightenment that's not achieved, but it's received. You know, it's something that comes to you, or it flows through you. So I love that. You know, I
Love
love that
it.
example. And you know, I also love like the way that you're able to find those forms of creation for yourself. And like you say, you write them down, you get these wonderful ideas, they're just bubbling within you, and you just find ways to kind of create like different things. Are there things that times that you just get excited about an idea and you just have to capture that idea, or you just have to write it down in the moment, or inspires you to do something new?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it happens, and it doesn't actually only happen when fasting. I just wanna say that, like, whenever I'm in the flow of things, you know, like especially in the shower, like I get a lot of ideas, and then when taking long walks, I get a lot of ideas,
Yeah.
and then long walks have been like, but like extremely long walks. I mean, not like, or it doesn't even matter. When you're in the flow, I always say this, like, when you're doing what you love, when you're in the flow, the time loses its meaning, right? It's like you're stepping into the fourth dimension, infinity. And you look at the watch and it's like, oh, 3 hours already passed, because you're already doing what you love and you're in the flow. And when you're in the flow, you lose your hunger and you don't care what time it is, and you get in this such a like turmoil, like in your vortex, that you get all these ideas, because also your frequency changes. And I think when your frequency changes, like, you know, there's this Akashic field, there's this unified field, but we are not in the same frequency maybe, and that's why we can't tap into it. But when we change our frequency, then it becomes easier to vibrate at the same level, and then we start pulling things from it because we are at the same frequency. Or we are at the same dimension, you know. Because yeah, like when we are in a hurry, when we are in the future or in the past, there's always that time constraint there, like the element of time. But when we are in the flow of doing things, when we love doing something and we're doing it, like time loses its meaning, and that's the moment when we step into this fourth dimension where there's no time. So yeah, it's just about like, and then when you're creating things in the fifth or sixth dimension, you know, you're just like tapping into these other fields, and that's what makes life beautiful.
Definitely, definitely. You know, there's, oh man, there's so much to unpack, you know, in what you just said. Yeah, you know, there's just so much to be said about when we're experiencing that, you know, influencing the different brainwave states, you know, and things that used to pierce you, you know, almost pay you no mind when you're in that no mind, you know, and the places where you feel like you're going, you get there in no time when you're in no time, you know, when you're not thinking about it. And so when you put yourself in that state whenever you're walking, I love that you said that, Tugçe, because I love walking as well. I just got done with a long walk before I came over here. And I know that you walk long distance. You even make shapes with your walking patterns. You know,
That's
you
with the
showed us the
bike.
little, yeah. And that's, you know, you're able to move the mind when you move the body, you know, because the energy and motion, that is our emotions. When we get that energy and motion, we influence those feelings and emotions that we have inside, and we get the brain moving by jogging it, you know. So
Yeah.
it's almost biblical, because like they say in the Bible, you know, Jesus walked, and there's always some form of inspiration or something that significant happens after a long walk. I feel like it always happens for me. So yeah, I love that about you, that you stay in movement, just like energy. It's always wanting to move.
Yeah. When you walk, I think it feels like to me you're refreshing your soul, you know? Like all that air goes through you, you absorb that wind energy, the fresh prana, everything. And it's the same thing with yoga. I think you're stretching your body, but you're actually stretching your mind. You know, it looks like it's your body, but it's actually ingrained in all of your cells, and it supports your mind. It's like you really become more flexible for life. You become more tolerant, and just you become the wave itself, you know.
Wow, you become the wave. You become the ocean, the wave itself. I
Yes.
love that. You become the water. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
It's not
Yeah.
like you're only watching the waves of life like coming to you and getting away from you, but you become the wave, like you flow with it. You flow with things around you, and you become a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you hear that? You hear that, everybody? You heard it here first. Tugçe said it. When you go with it, you flow with it. There it is. There it is. Going with the flow. So,
Yeah.
wow. You know, Tugçe, when it comes to your coaching practice, and when it comes to, you know, maybe different testimonies that you've heard from other people, or different times where you've had an impact or seen people, the influence in their lives by, you know, having a consultation with you or having a meeting with you, what are some of the things that surprise you that go on with other people through their own healing?
Mm-hmm. Um, like some of the things that surprised me, I guess, would be like some of my clients are really open, and I love that about them, you know. Everyone has their own pace and everyone's beautiful. But some people are just, you know, so hungry for information and for truth. And I love how they resonate with what I'm like suggesting them, and they pick it up right away and they see results right away. I just love that about, you know, and it surprises me because like sometimes looking back, it took me such a long time to just grab certain habits, you know. Even with Orin therapy, it's been 6 years now that I'm practicing it, but at the time, like, I read so many books and, you know, did so much research, and then I started very slowly and it took me a while. But now, like, I have some also friends and clients, they're just really just getting it right away, and they start applying it and they have amazing results, and it affects their relationships. That's what's like great about it. What else surprises me? That also, like, iridology, you know, I love the science of iridology.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I have these new clients that come to me for an eye reading, and I know nothing about their health, right? Like, it's the first time I'm meeting them, and I start reading their eyes, and I see, like, okay, these are the things that your eye is showing, so you might have these kind of symptoms, you might have these kind of like challenges, and they're like, wow, like, that's exactly what I've been going through. And, you know, I love the science of iridology. Like, your eyes are not only windows to your soul, but also to your body, to your physical body, and they can tell you so much. They can tell you more than a blood test that you can get at a hospital or a doctor's office can tell you. So it's really surprising and like great. It's not that surprising because I know how accurate it is, but also it's like, you know, it's great to be able to solve a problem that's ongoing like so rapidly, just because I see where the issue is, you know. So yeah, I love what I do. I want to make this like a full-time thing where I can help more people and guide more people so that they don't have to, you know, wait so many years to find answers, and they can just go through the go to the root cause of things. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It shows, you know, it shows that you love what you do. You're very passionate, you know, about your purpose, and that love that you have for it goes into your service. You know, it goes into the things that you do, and we feel it. You know, we receive it too because you feel it first, and then we feel it after. So, thank you so much for always, you know, bringing love into every area, every form, and every facet of your life, and just injecting that love and affecting us with that same energy. You know, I really feel like you're one of the world changers out here that are putting out that positive energy, especially the places that you do it on your platform where we're able to see, you know? Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. So are you.
You know, you said
We're all
something
in
that
this
was,
together.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said we are all in this together.
Yeah, of course. Of course, you know. So you said that I didn't even know that it took you that long when it came to Orin therapy to really break into it or to really go past the buffer of your own belief. Like, what do you feel like was the biggest hurdle that held you back from going, you know, diving in head first, so to speak?
Um, I think it was the things that I learned beforehand, you
Okay.
know, because I went to International School of Detox, you know, there it was told to us that, you know, kidneys are a waste filtering organ, that we eliminate waste through our urine and all sorts of things. So it's always, you know, it takes unconditioning and then relearning to embrace a new habit, and that's what my challenge was at the time, you know. I knew about it, but I didn't do it for like maybe 1 or 2 years. I didn't even pay attention. I didn't even read anything. And then I came across again, and then I got all the books online that talk about urine therapy, and I read them all. I listened to, at the time, Monica Schutz's videos, and then I started drinking just 1 glass a day. And then, 30 days later, I like healed myself from something that I was dabbling with 15 years. And then I was like, okay, there's something magical here. I'm just going to keep doing it. But still, I didn't go into drinking more and more. I think it took me like maybe 6 months or to a year where I was drinking like more, a bottle a day, 2 bottles a day, just increasing. So it took me a while. I'm slow too when it comes to embracing a new habit. Like sometimes it clicks with me right away and I pick it up, but other times it takes me a while. But it's okay. I like my pace. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, yeah. Just like biking, just like cycling, just like walking, we go at our own pace, right?
Mhm.
Slow and
Yes.
steady wins the race. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. It was the same thing with dry fasting for me.
Okay.
It took me a while to break that fear, I guess. Because like I always thought like, oh, when I dry fast, I will burn my adrenal glands. Like, I'll force myself into something that my body is not requiring, or I always had these thoughts in my head. But then when I understood the science behind it and what's really going on, so I was like, okay, like this makes a lot of sense. This is really the ultimate cure for anything. It just takes courage, like to step into it and to experiment with it. And it's like building a muscle. It's not like you can go on to a marathon the first time you run. You
Right.
have to do first, you run around the block and then in the neighborhood and then go further. So it's something, I see it like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's another area that I have to grow.
Mhm.
And try,
Yeah.
experiment. Yeah.
Yeah, just like those mental muscles, we always talk about the more you flex it, the stronger it gets, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you can apply that to any area, be it physical, be it emotional, be it mental, be it spiritual. The more that you flex these muscles, the stronger they get, and,
Mm-hmm.
and you're able to lift more, you're able to handle more when it gets stronger. So I
Exactly.
love that you were able to recalibrate and reprogram your mind for something new, especially something that in society is looked upon as something very, you know, very, like, people are very indifferent about certain things, and they have their own views and conceptions and perceptions about it. But you were
Mm-hmm.
able to say, like, you know what, let me see where this leads, and you saw where it led. And now, ironically, it seems like you're doing the same thing with different supplements, you know
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
so you're doing the same, you're on that same path. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, yeah, very similar. Yeah, it's good to not to be close to anything. Um, Trust your friends, what they're going through, and if they're saying like something is working for them, it might work for you too. So yeah, it's good to stay open-minded, be flexible, experiment with it. That's the most important thing, because you can only talk from your own experience. Unless you experience it in your body, then it means only so much. But yeah, once you experience it and have your own idea, have your own outcome, then it's really much, it means more, it has more value. Then from then on you can also guide others.
Right.
There's also other things that I'm planning to experiment, which are a little more scary. I don't know if it would be good for me to talk about it here, but
Oh, you've
yeah.
already let the cat out of the bag. Now you're just teasing us now.
Because I don't want anyone to go out there and do it right away. It takes like some preparation and like.
Okay. Viewer discretion is advised. Parental advisory. Uh, don't try this at home. All right. We got that out of the way. This is not. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
This is what?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it would be good for me to mention it here, but it's something to do with Orin therapy. But
Okay.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
should I just tell? I don't know.
Hey, what do y'all think? Should she tell us, or should she hide it?
You know me, I'm just like constantly learning, reading 10 books at a time. I'm like so hungry for information and like experience. I just love trying new things and experiencing in my body and then telling out to people. But this is not something I've tried so much. I mean, it is something I've tried in the first year of my Orin therapy experience. Okay, I'll just tell it. It's Orin injections.
Whoa.
But guys, don't try it right away. Wait for me to make a video and like just, this is not medical advice. I don't want your Instagram to be shut down.
You heard it here. Injection. She took it to another level. What they say, another one. Hey.
Oh my God. And
Oh,
I'm like someone that hates injections. Like any kind of needles, injections don't come near me. Like I don't think it's natural, you know, injecting anything through your skin into your body.
Wow.
But I want to experience it. I'm curious, you know, curious kills the cat, but I'm really curious and I can't help it. So I learned about this from, you know, many doctors who are applying it, not in the US, but outside, because in the US it's illegal. And also there are some cancer institutes in Germany and in Mexico, I believe, who, you know, help their patients with urine therapy to heal their cancers. And they use this method. Because it's one thing when you're drinking and applying to your skin, but it's another thing when you're injecting it. It goes right into your bloodstream. So yeah, I want to experience this with it. I got all my syringes and needles. I can show it.
Oh, you about to show us the plasma pack?
Yeah.
The
Like I
plasma
got
pack.
it already. I just have to like, and I learned how to do it. But yeah, I just have to put my courage together and do it, because last time I did it, I had a bad experience. So I don't suggest it to everyone, like to go and do it right away. There's a certain method to it. Like you have to go deep enough to the muscle tissue, and if you leave it under the dermis, then your skin becomes like very hard and stone-like, because it's like gets stuck there. So it needs to go in a certain amount. The needles should be like a certain length, and so yeah, but I want to experience with it, because like sometimes I have these clients who go through like real pain, you know, and it can be like an emergent help for those people. Or with people who are going through severe illnesses, or you know, anything like that requires an urgent care. This could be it. I mean, we already know that aged urine is great for like inflammation, like anything. You know, you can always apply it on the skin and you can drink it. That's like the best medicine. But yeah, this could be another thing. I don't know. I have to experience with it to be able to talk about it. So I was like, I have to do it on myself first.
Wow. Wow. Well, I admire your courage. I admire your bravery, your courage, you know, being your own scientist in your own laboratory. You know, it sounds like you're saying, okay, I'm not advocating, but I'm contemplating.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't done it yet, because last time I tried it 5 years ago, I had a bad experience. I was like, I'm never doing this again. And then I had my family, right, like jump in, and they were like, Tugçe, like you can really like give yourself paralysis. This is very dangerous. You shouldn't be doing this, you know, like it's not right. And I was like, oh, okay, what was I doing, you know? I was doubting myself, but now I know better. I know how to do it. So yeah, yeah, I think it's something that I'm gonna look into. So this is
Wow.
my life. I'm always like looking into new things. I never stop. I just like, you know, yeah, I love experimenting with things.
Yeah. You know, they say it's my life and it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, yeah, you got it. So, wow, Tugçe, thank you so much for, you know, touching us with that, sharing that with us, that little tidbit, letting us know, you know, what may be coming ahead,
Yeah.
wink, wink, like, you know, you didn't hear it from me, but you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. That's cool. That's cool. And
Yeah.
you know, you were mentioning as well about Monica Schuett and how she was one of your influences, and she was mine as well. Actually, in February of 2020, when I started my journey with Orin therapy, she was the first interview that I ever saw. And your interview with her is so legendary. I mean, it's so historical. It's etched forever in time. Like that interview that you did with her was so high vibe, it permeated. I mean, the ripple effect is still continuing with just that interview that you did together. And I've sent it to different friends and different people. And people have even come back to me saying when they saw you and her together, they took their first sip after
Oh.
never, ever even imagining that they would ever cross that line, you know? They took their first sip after watching you. Yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing. You know, still, I don't know how long it's been, maybe it's more than 6 months. Still to up to today, like I hear stories about that interview, you know, like how people are, you know, watching it and then they're sending it to their friends and family and they're picking up this, you know, healing modality. And it's like, it just makes me so happy because I think just me meeting her, I was just like so full of, you know, like happiness and joy just meeting her. And she's always like that. She has this beautiful soul. She's like super happy and joyful and loving. And I think the frequency that we co-created together during that interview just is maybe it's contagious and people really like resonate with the message that we are giving and they want to pick up on it right away. So yeah, it just makes me so happy that, you know, people started it after watching that video. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that we did it together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, we had a question earlier as well from someone down here in the comment section. And thank you for everyone who has been, you know, sharing the love and sharing comments and asking questions. Someone was asking about the veins in the eyes when you were talking about iridology. They
Mm-hmm.
said, would love to get a reading. Oh, you got another client here. And someone said, what does red veins in your eyes reveal?
So they show acidity. The red veins, that's what they show. It's just like, you know, imagine someone who is, you know, drinking a lot of alcohol. You can see it from their skin, right? Their skin would be looking more inflamed, a little puffy, red. Like their nose would be bigger. It's just like inflammation shows itself in any way. And it's the same thing with the eyes. You can see a lot, and the red veins show acidity. This can happen whether if you are on an acid forming diet, like on animal products or grains or you know, fried foods or anything that's, you know, even like soy, corn, these things all create acidity. But also, even if you're on an alkaline diet but you still have those kind of red veins, it can be due to a viral load in the liver. Because, you know, I mean, I'm a big believer, not a believer, but like I think there's a lot of, there's truth in the you know, the what's that? I'm forgetting its name now. The pathogen or the environment philosophy.
Like the terrain, the terrain.
Terrain, yes.
Yeah.
When the terrain is clear, doesn't matter what kind of pathogens you have, you don't have any symptoms. But if you have, you know, even if you create a clean terrain with the things that you're eating or feeding yourself, it can be energy source too, not just what you're eating. But sometimes the pathogens that are in the body due to, you know, external things can create this acidity. So it shows us two things. Either, you know, it can be your diet or it can be a viral load. Usually when I look at the liver, the portion of the liver, I make the correlation. And yeah, I mean, eyes can tell you so much. Like, you know, when you go to a hospital or a doctor's office, you get a blood test, right?
Yeah.
And the blood, so 75% of your body is water. And 3/4 of this water is lymphatic fluids. And 1/4 of this 75% water you have is blood. So 3/4 lymphatic fluid and 1/4 is blood. So when you go to a doctor or, you know, a hospital and get a blood test, you're only looking at this 1/4, 25%. But the other 3/4, the lymphatic fluids, they show up in the eye because the eye shows the lymphatic system of the body. So you're looking at a bigger portion of what's going on in your body, you know, in each of your glands, like in your organs. It's such a beautiful thing. I mean, every part of our body is actually showing us. Like if you have a diagonal line in your ear, then that's a heart problem. If you have deep lines over here, that's a liver problem. If you have the 11 lines over here, that's an adrenal problem. If you have horizontal lines on your face, that's heavy metals. Like every part of our body, you know, the skin, the color, like everything shows you of what's going on the inside. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to, you know, read those signs and know yourself better and take action according to that, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that breakdown. Thank you for that explanation, you know, making it so clear. The eyes have it. The eyes have it. Look into my eyes and you shall see what's going on inside of me. Ah.
I know. And
Wow.
I see your interviews sometimes, like your eyes are so strong, you never blink. And I'm like, oh my God, he's like, whew, laser focus.
It's my secret weapon. It's one of my practices. You know, I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just so wrapped up in the moment with your energy. You know, I don't want to miss a beat. You know, so I feel like I don't want to blink. It's like I might miss something.
I love it. I love it. I think also because you're sun gazing, you know, and you can look at the sun for a long time. Like that's a strength that you built in time. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the different, you know, Chataka meditations that I've done as well. Like I love those, you know, either the sun Chatak or the candle gazing, you know, different, even moon gazing. You know, we were doing that the other night there, near the fireplace. I would look and the moon was just gorgeous last night, Tugçe, I'm telling you. So I just found myself, you know, watching it, just gazing into it. But yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Sometimes I forget. So it can be piercing. I'm a Scorpio, you know, so it can be piercing sometimes. I don't want to sting nobody, you know. I want to get you.
I feel you. I feel you. My rising is Scorpio. So yeah. By the way, since you're in Sedona, I don't know if you know about this, but there's this ecstatic dance session at the Cathedral Rock every Wednesday or every Friday, I think. And it's just so beautiful to be able to dance barefoot on the rocks. And you can see all the stars above you, like, you know, because there's no city lights. It's just so crystal clear. It's such a beautiful experience. If you have a chance, you should go.
Wow. Thank you for that recommendation. I appreciate that. Yeah. We may have to check that out.
Yeah, just Google ecstatic dance Sedona Cathedral Rock. It should come up. I don't remember the dates, but yeah, you should be able to find it.
Look at you. Look at you putting me on. Look at you putting me on game. You're like, hey, if you know where to, I know where to go. I'll take you there. I
No,
appreciate that.
because really, it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. I was like, we should be doing this every night, you know, just like on nature, on the ground, barefoot, under the stars. This is a gift that life is offering to us every day, yet we don't take it. We are like in these apartments, in these like four walls, you know, but I think, yeah, it's, I mean, imagine like it's something that life is offering to you 365 days a year, like every day of your life. Yet, how many times do we do it? You know, how many times did we dance under the stars barefoot?
Mhm. Yes, letting life make love to you. I love it.
Exactly.
I love
We
it.
just gotta stay open and let life make love to us.
Mhm, mhm. Well, oh my goodness, Tugçe, thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure to be with you, to breathe with you in this space here. And, you know, thank you for everyone that was watching, that was commenting and showing love. Even if you're watching this on the replay, we appreciate you. And Tugçe, for anybody who may not have heard of you before, or this may be their first introduction, could you let us know where they could find you and what services that you offer or provide?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be in the same space with you too. And yeah, anyone can find me on Instagram. I think Instagram is the best place to reach out to me. So plasma_goddess. And this is just to remind you that you are all plasma gods and goddesses. I just want to underline that. And yeah, and I offer health coaching. I do iridology, eye readings. And those are the two services that I offer. I'm always here to help you out. Anything related to your, health. It can be emotional, mental, physical. And yeah, you can always reach out to me on Instagram, and I would love to have hear from you.
Awesome. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Mhm.
All right. All right. Well, we'll take care and we'll speak to you again very soon. We'll stay in touch and stay in tune.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone for joining. Yes, talk to you soon. Much love.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Awesome.